99% of people do not know this math secret. It can be used in every situation, so after this video, you can use it for the rest of your life. Let's check it out. What if I asked you to find 16% of 50? Well, you most likely need a calculator, but what if I told you that percentages can be reversed? So 16% of 50 is equal to 50% of 16, and half of 16 is 8. So 16% of 50 is equal to 8. Mind blown.
Okay, you know how there are some people that are not conventionally attractive, but they're still the most beautiful person in the room? This will turn you into an entirely new person. We are naturally drawn to people who have an open heart center. Our heart has the biggest electromagnetic field in the body. And 99% of us are walking around with our heart centers blocked and we don't even know it. After I had my spiritual awakening, I realized that this is where most of my depressed and suicidal thoughts came from. Or even just talking shit about other people, complaining. Closing your heart shuts you off to the infinite energy of the universe. And that's why your psyche responds in a negative manner. Why you sit in bed all day, because you have no energy for anything. Loneliness is the same risk as smoking for heart disease. But with time, you can train yourself to keep your heart open.
Y apúntate a la...
Oh my god, guys, I just discovered something from a book and it changed everything I ever thought about manifestation. I realized that when we're trying to manifest something, we're usually trying to manifest something for a better future, which is fine. But then I realized that that's a trap, because the future doesn't exist. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Basically, the future is an illusion because the only thing that is ever real is the present tense. Even that amazing future that we're trying to manifest, we're trying to manifest it so that we can enjoy the present moment when it comes. I want to show you what happens if you put too much of your attention on the future and stop living in the moment. Look at this graph from a book. So you see this guy in the middle, right? His energy is literally spread out in the past and the future. And I'm gonna show you what happens to his fields when he's focused on the present moment. This is his field in the present moment. Look at the fucking energy that this guy is radiating. That's why it's so important to feel good in the moment, to embody the feeling of your manifestation in the moment. Because look how you'll radiate.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
You've seen those TikToks with people in like these crazy first class cabins. This is me in Emirates first class. It's nuts. Here's Emirates, New York to Athens. In June is $8,400. Now here's the thing. It's always worth checking to see if points are available, because even if you don't have those points, you can buy them. Same thing, New York to Athens, June 2nd. We click Classic Rewards. Voila! Instead of $8,400, it's 85,000 points. Compare it to loyalty, buy miles. 85,000 points for $1,980. I'm not saying it's cheap, baby, but it is almost $7,000 cheaper.
So today we're gonna show you why you shouldn't leave your chargers plugged in. So as you can see, there's power in there. Now you plug in your phone. There's power in there, how it's supposed to be. But if someone is talking on the phone while the phone is charging, the electric waves will come to your body, as you can see. Now, if you unplug them, they're gone. So, bottom line, don't charge your phones while talking.
Who's calling you?
I don't know who this is. 225.
Let's answer. You want to answer
Yeah.
it?
Put it on
Speaker.
Oh, what's up? Hey, I'm finna. Oh, I do this to people when I want to hang up.
Oh, airplane mode.
Oh my, that is genius.
Because it says call failed. It doesn't say call ended.
Oh my god.
I always do that.
That dude saw a call failed. I feel like
They'll say reconnecting.
Damn!
Yeah.
That's even better.
You are so smart.
You're quick. You forget my name a lot, but you're
No, I
quick.
know your name, Zane.
She looked up at the side. She made it seem like she was thinking.
Zane and Heath.
Are you a bad bitch who doesn't know how to look like one in photos? Follow these steps. First, the confidence. Even though a bad bitch may not always feel confident, she always looks it. But like, how do I look confident? First, stop slouching! Stand with your legs farther apart rather than closer together. Tell me which looks more confident. This or this. Always look up or at the camera. Bad bitches don't look down, especially on other people. Last but not least, you need a power pose. Like a hands on the hips or a walking pose. Put it all together and you get this. You can't tell me this doesn't radiate bad bitch energy. And you can do it too.
Why do you always have to get dressed up everywhere we go? Don't you know that when you pass away, whatever you're wearing is the outfit that your ghost will be wearing forever? Do you know when you're gonna die? Because I don't know when I'm gonna die, and I don't want to be in a raggedy t-shirt and sweatpants forever. I'd be too ashamed to haunt anyone.
Alright, this is easily the most insane page of a book I've ever read. I'm gonna try to summarize it and make it make a lot more sense. So when we focus on generating positive emotions, which we can consciously do, like cultivating positive emotions like gratitude, joy, excitement, enthusiasm, fascination, inspiration, kindness, compassion, appreciation, which you can just do naturally. You don't need any outside stimuli to feel these things. Like, you can be grateful that you can see. You can be appreciative of everything and everyone. So that's releasing oxytocin. So when you release oxytocin, you're naturally shutting off the receptors in your amygdala, which is the part of the brain that generates fear and anxiety. So literally just by consciously thinking about positivity and appreciation, you're shutting off the amygdala. Scientists are finding areas in the body like the intestines, the immune system, liver, and the heart, as well as many other organs that contain receptor sites for oxytocin. So these organs are really receptive to oxytocin's major healing effect, which has been linked to growing more blood vessels in the heart, stimulating immune function, increasing and normalizing blood sugar levels. Your thoughts can heal.
Do you want to impress your friends at the art gallery? Here's my guide to knowing what art movement and artwork is from just from looking at it. Let's go. If it's got cute babies, it's Baroque. But if it's got ugly babies, it's medieval. If it looks like you need your glasses prescription updated, then it's Impressionism. If it looks like your Tupperware drawer, then it's Cubism. If people look way too long, then it's Mannerism. If it's got happy peasants, it's a Dutch genre painting. And if it's got sad peasants, it's 19th century realism. If it looks like a low-res JPEG blown up, then it's Pointillism. And if it looks like angsty male ego, then it's German romanticism.
You ever hand someone your phone and they start scrolling through pics? Do this. In accessibility settings, we're going to turn on guided access and enable your passcode. Now when you hand someone your phone, just triple tap the lock button and click on guided access. Put your settings to the same as mine so they'll only be able to see that one photo. Just make sure nobody can start scrolling through and looking at your other photos. Follow me for more tips and tricks.
Instant gratification. Our shopping, our news, our communication, our trends. Everything about our daily lives is instantaneous thanks to the internet. But because the internet is so fast-paced, it makes everything else in our life seem slow. As a society, our patience is fading. Trends go in and out of style within a matter of days. We can't even focus on one thing anymore because we just don't have the patience. What's worse is that because small things like the news and shopping happen so quickly, big things like careers and relationships move too slowly for us. Many people feel lost, and sticking to long-term goals has become much more difficult. But patience is a virtue. We have to ask ourselves, what's more important, our patience or instant gratification?
Here's how the fuck to stop taking things personal. From a previous sensitive bitch herself. Let me tell you, I used to be sensitive as fuck. When someone was rude or judgmental to me, I used to literally overanalyze every single thing, thinking why they would say that and why they would think that. The thing you need to realize, and I wish I knew this sooner, is that life is a mirror. So however you're feeling on the inside, you are going to reflect that in your own outer reality. You're going to treat people the same as you feel with yourself. That's why people that are genuinely good with themselves and that like themselves are only uplifting and positive and nice to other people. So anyone that is just negative, judgmental, or rude to you for no reason is someone that's struggling with their own inner reality because that's what they're feeling. People will do this to try to bring you down to their level of how they're feeling. And once you get this, you kind of understand why people say things. And then you don't really take it to heart as much because, like, you're like, who hurt you? Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I can't do anything about it.
Do you ever wonder why people like Charli D'Amelio or Donald Trump has such a cult-like following? Yet, it seems like majority of the population hates these people. I'm gonna show you why that is.
This is how we think the spectrum works. We start off at hated and you move all the way up to love. So we all think, oh, I'd rather be liked than hated. And so most of us stop just right here. Well, this entire thing is completely fucking wrong.
And due to this misconception, we don't feel very important and we don't feel like we're the main characters of our own lives.
This is what it really looks like. Us normal people are on these levels, while powerful people and celebrities are on this level. It is easier to go from hated to loved and vice versa than going from loved to disliked or hated to liked. For example, you've heard that your worst enemies make the best of friends. Or you probably loved your ex until she cheated on you. The difference between the lower levels and the upper levels are simply the impact you have on people's lives and your unique qualities. And the reason you don't feel as important is because you're afraid to make this jump. The day you stop being afraid of being hated is the day you start being more loved.